Hello, everybody, and happy Friday. I'm Lisa Shield, and this is Finding the Guardian of Your Soul. I am so happy to be here. It's wonderful just to jump on and spend a little extra time with all of you. So, thank you for being here. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 simple ways to speed up your search for love. How fun does that sound? Um, it's very interesting. I think I'll just jump off and get started with what was happening right before I jumped on here. So I just got off a call with one of the women who I love to pieces. She is one of the most wonderful women I know. She is a psychiatrist and she's a member of our mastermind group. I think that it is so crazy. This woman is extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. I love her. And I'm so excited for her because doing this work with us and in our mastermind group, she'll spend a year with working with my husband, Benjamin, and me in a very intimate setting with a very intimate group of other women. And it is going to be so much fun. It already has been fun to watch her blossom. She was really struggling with her dating today, and I could hear we all go through ups and downs, right? We all do. And she was overthinking things. She was saying, well, maybe I should cut back. Maybe I should be more discerning. And I just said to her, look, everybody goes through this. But when I was dating, and especially when I was really first putting myself out there, I knew I had a lot to learn, and I especially had a lot to learn about men. One of my biggest mistakes in life was that I didn't, I looked at love and dating and relationships very much from a female perspective. But what I realized was I wanted to learn about men. I actually became very, very curious about men, who they are, how they think, what they want from us in a relationship, what they're looking for, not just what I wanted from them, but what they wanted from me. And so, especially in the first stages of dating, I went on a lot of dates, and I wasn't even looking for my guy. I knew that I had to get comfortable with men and I had a lot to learn before I would even be ready for my guy. And I think a lot of you just don't really acknowledge that the guy that you're really looking for, many of you are not emotionally mature enough. You're not savvy enough. You take things personally. You dramatize things, you talk too much, you overshare, you don't share enough. But many, many, many women, they think, oh, I'm ready to meet my guy, but they're not really ready to meet their guy. Maybe they're ready to get out and start dating and start searching for the one, but they may not be ready to be in a relationship with the kind of man they're looking for. And I knew that. There was nothing about me that was naive enough. Looking at my past, my history, and all, I was not naive about the fact that I had a lot of growing and learning to do. And that if the man I really wanted had sat down in front of me on a date when I first started dating 2 years before, I would have sabotaged it and he would have seen through me. He would have seen my insecurities and my immaturity. And so the dating process was part of me becoming the woman that I became, so that when I met Benjamin, I knew that even if I didn't have it all figured out, I could rise to the occasion. So let's talk about some of the ways to speed up your search for love. The very first one is get out there and stay out there. Do not keep starting and stopping. So many of you will get out there and you'll really pump yourself up and you'll get all excited about the dating process. And okay, this is going to be my year. I'm ready. I've done, 5 personal growth courses, Tony Robbins, Unleash Your Power, and whatever. I did the landmark forum. I feel good. I'm ready. And you go right out there, and there's a saying, everywhere you go, there you are. A lot of these personal growth programs, they pump you up, they get you all excited, and you start to feel great because you've had some breakthroughs. You go right out into the dating world and nothing changes. It's more of the same. You keep attracting avoidant men, or you find something wrong with every guy you meet. There are no good guys, but you keep running into that same wall. Well, here's the reason that keeps happening. You have got to do specific work in this area. And I am talking about dating, men, relationships, how to communicate, how to connect. This is a very specific focus. So you can do all the random healing work, personal growth work, whatever, and you can start to feel great about yourself and say, oh my God, I love myself. I'm a goddess. I'm embodied. I have done all of this therapy. I understand my issues and blocks, but it doesn't get you your guy. You keep running into the same walls. So you got to get out there. You got to stay out there, and you have to keep going, because this is how you're going to learn about this part of your life. And this is a very specific skill set. It's very specific. Yes, you can apply some of the tools and techniques you may have learned along the way through therapy and through other personal growth programs. But this is about understanding men, who they are, what they want and need from you as a partner, not just what you're looking for. You can sit and make lists and vision boards and, whatever, and dream about your beloved and call him in, call in the one and meditate and all. But the real truth is, none of that is going to get you the kind of relationship you really want. That's all priming you to do this work. So that's like chapter 1, but priming you to get out and date. So once you get out there, you need to stay out there, and you need to be committed to growing and learning through this process, and not keep starting and stopping every time you run into a wall. The very first thing I have women do when they come into my 12-week Emotionally Naked Dating program is write a love letter to the guardian of their soul. And the very first line of that love letter is, I know you're out there, and I'm not quitting until we find each other. I know you're out there, and I'm not quitting until we find each other. So get out there and stay out there, and don't keep starting and stopping. The second one is to date multiple men. Do not make the mistake of meeting a guy and thinking, oh my God, this is it. You rush in, you waste another 8 months or 2 years of your life, only to turn around and go, oh my God, he's another addict. He's another avoidant. He's another narcissist. He's another man who can't communicate. He's another cheater. You need to date multiple men. You don't rush into anything with anyone. And the reason this will speed up your search for love is because, do the math. Let's say I'm dating 3 different guys. I date one guy for about 2 months. I date another guy for 7 weeks. And I date another guy for maybe 3 weeks. So you've got 5 plus 7 is 12 weeks. That would be 3 months of my life. If you dated them all simultaneously, it would be 7 weeks. And if one guy fell off, like the guy at 3 weeks or the guy at 2 months, I don't know if I'm doing the math right here, or 5 weeks, right? But then you add another guy in. So you have a rotation and you're bringing one guy in and letting another guy go. But until you're really sure that there's somebody who has the qualities that you know you must have in a partner, you don't want to stop dating or get off. And also, get off the apps or the dating, sites, because you're going to keep being a serial dater or a serial monogamist, and this is going to go on forever. You also can mitigate some of your anxiety if you tend to rush into things. You'll mitigate some of that anxiety by slowing down and dating various people. And also, as you're growing and learning and evolving through this process, you're going to start to see that the men get better and better and better. The third thing is move on and cut it off as soon as you know it's not going to work. So don't sit there and make excuses for these guys. We have a woman who graduated one of our programs, and she's now dating a guy, and he made some offhand remarks at a dinner that she was at, and they were so inappropriate that she said, well, how do I talk to him, and what do I say, and how do I let him know that that wasn't okay with me? Look, a guy who's making these kinds of comments and being off color and doing something that is completely inappropriate, that goes much deeper. He lacks judgment. He doesn't respect you if he's making these kinds of comments. He doesn't have good judgment. And these are much deeper issues than how do I talk to him about how that felt. Once you get savvy and you really start to know who you want to be with and the character of the man you're looking for, don't make excuses for things you know are wrong. You're not going to change a man. You're not going to teach a grown man how to be respectful of women. You're not going to show a man that he shouldn't be saying those kinds of things. You want a man who already knows that those are not the right things to say. So when you see these kinds of behaviors, draw a line in the sand, cut it off, and move on sooner than later. You don't want a man who you have to tell not to say something unkind in front of you, disrespectful. He should already be aware enough of your feelings and how to treat women by a certain stage in life, and you shouldn't have to tell a grown man these kinds of things. So when you see a man acting inappropriately in front of you and acting immaturely, unless you want to be dealing with that for the rest of your relationship, I would move on. And I wouldn't just focus on, oh, but he's so sweet and he's so kind and we have so much fun together and there's such great chemistry. It will keep happening. You will keep hitting up against that wall of immaturity and disrespect. It will keep coming up. So cut it off sooner than later and keep raising the bar. Don't lower your bar because he's fun or you have a lot in common and you don't want to keep dating. You're on that path. You're staying on that path until you meet the guardian of your soul. So don't settle, because if you settle, that's what you're going to get. The fourth thing is see dating as a mirror. So start taking responsibility for what's working and what's not working in your dating. If you see repeating patterns, that means there's something you need to look at. If men keep ghosting you, it's something you need to look at. We have a client right now, and she keeps getting one scammer after another. She is an attractive, successful woman. She's also quite young. There is no reason in the world that a woman her age in a major metropolitan area should be getting scammers one after another. There is something she is doing. There is something in the men that she is picking. She's going for good-looking men who are European, who have a certain whatever, but they're fake. And she needs to look at that, because we don't see that happening with other clients. Do some of them have scammers that come across their, their apps and their webs, their dating websites? Sure, that's what's happening today. But these women are not picking one scammer after another. Sure, they come up in their feed, but they recognize, hey, there's something that just isn't right. This guy's too good looking. He looks fake. He's too good to be true. And they move on quickly from these guys because they can tell, they trust their gut, and they know that something's off. This client, it keeps happening to her over and over and over again. So somehow she's missing something, and she needs to look at that. You also want to look at if you keep picking avoidant men, or you keep getting ghosted, or there's some pattern that keeps repeating. You are the common denominator. So the beauty of dating is that it will put everything in your face. It is a mirror, and it is going to reflect all of your blind spots if you're willing to see them. And that's one of the beauties of the dating process. If you're courageous, if you're not afraid to look in the mirror, you can learn a lot about what you don't know, and it can help you start to identify and break these self-sabotaging behaviors, so you can speed up your search for love and stop doing those things over and over again. The fifth thing, and the thing I love the most, work with an expert love coach. Stop thinking you're going to figure this out on your own. Get help, work with an expert. You wouldn't try to fix your own plumbing. You wouldn't try to fix your roof. If you owned a business and there was something wrong, you would get help. You don't have time to sit and research and become an expert in this field. There are experts. There are people like me who have been doing this work for decades. We're here to help you. We're here to help you get this faster. We're here to help you see your blind spots. We're here to help teach you what you don't know that you need to know to get this solved. So many of you are wasting time. You're spinning your wheels. You're breaking your own heart because you don't know how to fix this. And all that's happening is more birthdays, more Christmases, more New Year's, more Valentine's days are going by. You're spending nights alone, or you're trying to fill up your time with your girlfriends, or going on girls' trips or vacations by yourself. You spend time becoming a professional grandmother because you have nothing else to do with your time and you're always available. So why not spend time with your grandkids? But is that really how you want to live your life? Or do you want to get this solved? If you do, I highly suggest you look online, you Google love coaches, You watch my free 45-minute presentation, but I will tell you, information is not transformation. You can read all the books in the world. Did you ever ask yourself why you have a library full of books? Why you sit there at night and watch one YouTube video after another and nothing changes? You still go out on dates and there's no connection. You go online and you can't find anybody you're attracted to. And the same things keep happening over and over and over again. So you watch a video about how to be more feminine, and you think, if I run my fingers through my hair and I speak a little softer or a little slower, maybe that's the trick. It's much deeper than that. To find true love, the guardian of your soul, a real partner who's going to go the distance and last, not just for a week or a month or a year, but a relationship that will get better over time. Like my relationship with my husband, Benjamin, of 20 years. We don't fight, we don't argue. We have fun, we laugh, we play. We can't wait to spend time together. And we've been together for over 20 years. This is available to each and every one of you. So get the help of an expert so you can just get this solved and get on with having the love life you're dreaming of. Because for so many of you, sure, you want a man, but you don't need a man. You can fill your time. You're not going to let anybody tell you or make you feel like you're a loser because you don't have a man in your life. But having a man, a true partner, a lover, a playmate, a best friend, that is the best life of all. And I know if you are a smart, successful woman who's accomplished everything else you want in life, and this is the one missing piece, the one thing that eludes you, reach out. Go to lisashield.com. Click that button to watch my free presentation. And if you like what you hear, just stay to the end, because 90 days from now, you could have my roadmap for finding true love, a guardian of your soul, a man who is your equal in every way, who inspires you, who adores you, who cherishes you, who makes your life richer and better and more fun, and who sees who you are and loves the person that you are. If that's your dream, get out there and stay out there. Date multiple men. Move on. The minute you know it won't work, you see bad behavior and you feel like you're starting to teach this guy and have those inane conversations about how what he said hurt your feelings. A grown man should know not to say those kinds of things in front of a woman. And see dating as a mirror. Take responsibility for what's working and not working. Look for patterns that are repeating, things, blind spots, things that you keep doing over and over and over, choices you're making, so that you can break these bad patterns that are keeping you stuck. And if you really want to get this solved, get the help of a love coach, a real expert who's done this in her own life and can show you how to do it in yours. I'm Lisa Shield. Thank you so much for being here today. This was so much fun to hop in here and do a little bit of an extra Facebook Live, a little presentation for all of you on a Friday afternoon. Have a beautiful weekend. Please go to lisashield.com, click that button, watch my free presentation. Don't stop there. Book a breakthrough call with a member of my team and let us show you how we can help you find the guardian of your soul in the next 90 days. Also, rate and like my podcast and send your requests for topics to podcast@lisashield.com. Finally, tune in on Sundays for Getting Inside the Right Male Mind, where I probe the mind of the best man I know, my husband, Benjamin. You will learn so much. Tell your brothers, your uncles, your fathers, your boyfriends, your guy friends, your girlfriends, your mothers and nieces and nephews, everybody you know about these broadcasts. And please come back again. It is such a pleasure to have you here. And thank you, thank you, thank you for all your continued love and support. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.